Hello everyone, it's Ant Hazuki here, and today I'll be reviewing the PS4 version of Surf World Series. So I know what you're thinking, a surfing game. I was surprised too when I saw the demo on store a few weeks ago, as the sport is vastly unrepresented in the world of gaming. As far as I can remember, there were no surfing games in the last generation of consoles, and I have to go back to the PS2 Dreamcast era, of which only Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer, which was developed by Neversoft, that I actually remember playing. Surf World Series has a niche to itself then. The question is, should you play it? Surf World Series takes many of its cues from Kelly Slater, as well as Trans World Surfing, in the fact that it's an arcade-style score attack game, rather than a full-on simulation. This is by no means a bad thing. I spent many happy hours in the noughties playing extreme sports games like Tony Hawk's Dave Mirra, and enjoying them immensely. The genre has since died a death, but Surf World Series does a good job of bringing it back, and nailing that thrill of pulling off multiple moves in a combo and daring yourself to push it that little bit further at the risk of losing it all through a wipeout. I would definitely say this game does have a learning curve. One disappointing aspect of the demo was that the tutorial was locked out and you're thrown in the deep end, pun intended, to figure things out for yourself, which left me frustrated in trying to figure out the flow of the game. Thankfully, the full version has Surf School, and this is a decent guide in covering all the different surfing techniques required to master the game. Basic moves are pulled off by pressing the face buttons at the top of a jump. Spins can be locked in before you attempt the jump by pressing the triggers a certain amount of times, depending on whether you want to do a 180, 360, 720. Floaters can be pulled off using the left trigger when you're at the top of a wave, and finally snapbacks can be done by pressing the right trigger midway through a wave. Combos, therefore, are built up by pulling off a variety of different moves within a set time frame, and in this in turn builds up a special meter which you can then perform special moves, just like Tony Hawk's. So I found learning all the techniques was simple, but putting them all together in a big combo took me much longer. However, like Tony Hawk's, when you nail the system they have put in place, that rush of satisfaction of that big combo is simply awesome. My only concern is that potentially players may get frustrated if they don't stick with the game long enough to do this. It's perhaps not quite as intuitive as it could be, but those who persevere, it's totally worth it. Once you've mastered the techniques, the game has quite a lot of content for players to get through. They have modes such as Free Surf, which allows you to surf to your heart's content, a comprehensive Events mode, which is the meat of the single player experience, where you surf around the world competing in events unlocking custom items for your surfer, a 16-player online mode which caters for both public and private games, the aforementioned Surf School, and an area where you can customize your surfer and build your own surfboards, tops and shorts from scratch. I found the Events mode to be really quite fun. You go from location to location, which are all based on real-world beaches, based in the UK, South Africa, Australia, Brazil, USA and Portugal, competing in 4 different types of events. Events such as Big Battle, where you have to put off the biggest combo in the time limit, Championship, where your overall combo average is taken over a number of rounds, Set List, where you pull off moves assigned to you, and Survival, where you're simply tasked getting to the end of a rough wave. Everything is further fleshed out through a challenges system, where there's 3 different types of challenges per event, unlocking different items, alongside online leaderboards, which is a nice touch. If I had to label any criticism, it's that the whole experience maybe lacks a little personality or sense of achievement. Kelly Slater's, for example, had intros to each new section along with a little slice of story, i.e. let's become surfing heroes, etc, etc. You could upgrade their stats the more you played, and had fun objectives such as knocking down windsurfers. Surf World is completely different, however, and it's a highly focused experience, and one that I very much enjoyed. Graphically, the game is very nice without necessarily blowing you away. It runs on Unreal 4, which I must admit makes me frown when seeing it on console. I've not seen many outstanding looking or well running games using the platform on console yet, but Surf World Series is one of the better ones. The game has a very nice, crisp, clean feel to it, and it runs at a nice lick without any slowdown, and has remained bug-free throughout my time with it, along with no in-game crashes. One of the most important aspects of any surfing game are the water effects and animation. I'm pleased to say that they look realistic and vary depending on the location. The The developers have also added a variety of weather effects such as thunderstorms, which is another neat touch. Doing a survival event at night in a storm has an epic feel to it. Importantly, you do get the sensation you are actually surfing, and it certainly doesn't feel low budget. It would have been nice to see some extra effects, birds flying, other surfers, boats, etc. It does feel pretty lifeless at times. Weirdly, you can see surfers when you start your run, but never again after that. It would be awesome to see them surfing alongside you and wiping out. One of my bugbears with indie games at the moment is the full price cost of a game. I'm happy to buy the games when they're launched, but more often than not the full price is above what I'm willing to pay for the experience, and thus I wait it out for a sale. Indeed, this is probably the intentions of the publisher to have the sale price much closer to what they actually wanted at the full game price. Surfworld series avoids all that nonsense and launches at £10, which is, I find, very reasonable considering the content and offer and the 16-player online mode. If you like the look of the game, then I can fully recommend taking the plunge, sorry for another pun, in grabbing the game. It's available now on PS4, Xbox One and PC. Overall, I find this to be a really fun surfing game, a good extreme sports game, and one that I'd love to see the developer expand upon in the sequel. I'm awarding this game 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like or subscribe. Cheers and see you in the next video.